Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Nemopack. How are you guys doing today? How's life? I want to start today's episode by addressing our steel issues. We are not producing that much coal coke, we are not producing that much steel. And the main issue that I have is creosote oil. Look how much we have. We need a far bigger container. There is a fluid tank from Create which does not look that bad, and maybe we can use it in order to store our creosote oil. But here is the problem. We need to pump it out of the coke oven. So I was thinking, maybe we can use a mechanical pipe from Create. And just for testing purposes, let us see if it works with a hand crank. Oh, it does work. Very slowly. Another question is, can we put this vertically? Yes. So as you guys have noticed, a mechanical pump from Create is going to require rotational power in order to pump out the fluid. We cannot set up a water wheel everywhere, so what we're going to do is that we're going to use a fan, but we're going to place it upside down. So I'm assuming if we put you like so, you should work. Of course, you're not going to work as long as I don't give you a redstone signal. Now it's rotating. We need to bring it up by a few blocks so that we can use a cog and then put the pumps on top of the coke oven. Like this. It's spewing out. That's a fun mechanic. So now I'm assuming if we put the tank on top, we should get a little bit of creosote oil. Are we? Yes, 88 millibuckets. Also, in all the mod 6 you guys corrected me and told me that this can also be a 3x3. So we shall make it a 3x3. Wait a minute, the entire capacity is like 8 buckets? Oh, each of the tanks is 8 buckets. Okay, then we're good. Although we are going to have a second coke oven here as well so that we can increase our production. Just a bit. And this is also the main reason that we are going to have 2 pumps. I actually like the pipe. Can we do something like this so that we can show it off? Maybe. Let me clean it up and I'll be right back. Considering the limited amount of resources that I have, we get garbage. You should always remember that my entire wealth in this world is in these chests. That's it. We don't have anything else. But here is the point. If you guys remember last episode, I did mention that in order to generate RF in this mod pack, we need to get something called an alternator. That will convert the rotational energy to RF. And I was checking the recipe. It's not as bad as you would think. So where do we start? We need brass. Oh, for the first time in my life, I have the plates. Nice. We are going to require a mechanical mixer and a basin, which is incredibly expensive. Okay. I don't have a choice. Really? 3 of you? The setup for the mixer itself is going to be very temporary, so we just set it up over here and we will remove it later on. And by later on, I mean in like 5 minutes. And the mechanical mixer actually has a speed requirement of 30 RPM, which I think it means that we have to increase it by at least once. Also, like the millstone that we have over here, it has to be powered from the side. So I did put a vertical gearbox, and we can have you over there. Yes, and it's functioning. The basin goes over here with a block gap and we have a blaze burner for the heat. You might notice that I'm not extremely great with Create, but I think this guy requires coal. Okay, and the recipe for brass has also been tweaked. We can use the ingots, so copper and zinc. Yes, it works. We have brass. Oh, and we get the ingot. So I can put a filter for the recipe, right? Oh, and then I can drop a lot more. That is very neat. Anyways, the main reason that I said this is going to be an extremely temporary setup is that now that we have access to brass, I'm actually converting them into plates over here. Hello? Why is it stuck? I don't know. By using these brass sheets that we have, we should be able to make an alloy kiln, which does not have a complicated recipe. I mean, it kind of does, but I think we should be able to afford it. We need a little bit more bricks. I just wanted to mention that I'm not going to go lazy with Create and saying that, oh, I'm not going to automate that and I'm just going to use an alloy kiln. The thing is, for the moment, we need a decent supply of brass and this is the fastest way of getting it. But the alloy kiln from immersive engineering cannot be automated and we need a decent supply of brass. So eventually, I have to fully automate that one. So this is just for convenience until we can reach automation. This quest is not counting. I have brass. I don't know. So where do we stand? Our goal is to try and get the alternator so that we would be able to generate RF, and you might notice that we need some crafters. And this is why we needed brass, but you might notice that we also need something called a copper wire, and you get it inside a rolling mill. There is also an iron rod which you can get it from immersive engineering if you have RF, but for us we have to get it from the Create add-on mod, using the same rolling mill. Here is a rolling mill. And I think for the recipe for the iron rod, it's just 1 iron ingot. Yes, that will give you 2 rods. And for the copper wires, we need copper sheet. Oh, that is nice. Each one of them gives you 2. So give me more. Again, I'm not incredibly wealthy, so let us not mess it up. We are going to need 16 mechanical crafters, so I need to do this recipe like 6 times. I think. Pink diamonds. They're useless. Oh, you're expensive. I love that mechanic. I know we can make a proper tree farm, but we're not that advanced yet. If I have not messed it up, yes, we get 18. So it is a 3x5x1, and I think we should be able to power it. Yes. I'm not exactly sure if we have everything we need, but we need 7 of these coils. Oh, then we need electrum, which I'm assuming if the recipe itself has not been changed, it's still silver and gold, and I can just do it in U? Maybe? Yes. We also needed to have 2 pieces of crushed nickel ore, and we had total of 4. So here is my capacitor, and the rest is just iron plates, right? I thought it's nighttime. Is it horologium again? Yeah. Anyways, as you guys remember, we have to configure all of these arrows into a central location, which is going to be this one, and we put it to the bottom. So capacitor goes there. I forgot my rods, which goes over here. We add the coils, iron sheet, and the andesite alloy. And the recipe is valid. Nice, finally we have an engine. Thank you. It's not a quest. I'm very confused because these are not counting for some reason. Just out of curiosity, how do you work? Of course, in order to operate it, we need some sort of a capacitor bank or some sort of a connector. This is something that we can afford. Just for testing purposes, because I just want to know at minimum speed how much RF is it going to generate. We just need to put you on input. We put you over here, and if I attach you, you should get some RF. Oh, we don't have enough speed. Okay, it generates 5 RF per tick. That kind of breaks my heart. Can we go faster? Yes, now we are up to 11 RF per tick. Okay, at least we know what kind of a setup we need in order to make this guy go super fast. Let us take a very small break from create and focus a little bit on Eidolon. If you guys remember, we have sacrificed an animal. Now we need to get the touch of darkness and upgrade our altar. The chant for getting the touch of darkness is this one, so it's not that difficult. And in order to get it, we have to look at a pewter inlay and chant. We have it, the unholy symbol. And we can do this several times, although we just need the one, so it's not very important. Here is our stone altar, and here is my elder statue. I have a feeling that this is the most powerful altar that we can make at this very moment, so we're going to use it. It seems that darkness was not in the mood. It's okay, we have to wait until tomorrow. But in the meantime, I was actually looking for one of these huts, and this one does not have a basement? Okay. I should clarify that the altar itself is not at maximum tier because we're missing the wither rose and I don't have it. Yes, I have found one of these huts, and this one actually has a basement. I think it's the one that I looted last episode. Very good, very good. I was thinking now that we are waiting for the next day in order to do more prayers, maybe we can also get a mending book. His trade is not changing at all. Yeah, it doesn't change. Maybe we should buy it. Yeah, I think they have removed the enchanted books. Okay, I was mainly here to do some sacrifices, so we will do that. I'm not in the mood today. You know, I thought as darkness, I'm a jerk, so maybe a sheep or a pig is not big enough. So we do a horse. Come on. Don't fight it. There you go. Not painful at all. But in any case, in order to chant, I have to wait for the next day, so I'm guessing, I don't know, see you in like 10 minutes. Tea sapling. And it drops tea. Can you plant it? No. Okay, you do get a sapling. It's incredibly rare. Also, fun fact of the day, some of these astral temples have 2 chests. I had no idea. It is early morning of the next day and we should be able to do this prayer one more time. Yes, I have a new knowledge. Sacrifice a villager. And this is why I'm not actually worried that the villager is not selling us mending books, because otherwise we could not have sacrificed him. It would have been a real waste. Also, just in case our first sacrifice is not going to work, we can have a second one. So we do have a potion of weakness. And here is your golden apple. And stop making noises. For the moment we can have your blood. There you go. Okay, there was a hole. What is up here? Oh. I think we should cover it. I'm just curious, then how are you supposed to get mending? Oh, he turned. I actually need him for one final chance, so let us see if we get it. We just have to throw our book. Did you write something for me? Yes. So we have unlocked the sacred sign. And once we perform a ritual, we should also have the final sign. Is it nighttime? No, but maybe 5 minutes? I finally fell into this hole. I just went home in order to get a few stuff and it's morning. So we should be able to make the final chant and unlock the final symbol. It didn't work. I hate you. I converted this guy into a toolsmith and we have decent amount of tools. The diamond axe is actually really nice because it has efficiency too. And he also sells something called a pipe. I don't know what it does, but it looks cool. Anyhow, the entire reason that we're still here is that we want to unlock the final sign. Yes, my sacrifice has been accepted. It's a very nice concept. You sacrifice items to yourself, you reject your sacrifice, and the next day you accept your sacrifice. I think I have a few mental health issues. I thought it's about time to get a little bit more organized with food because I remembered we have a mod in this mod pack called Farmer's Delight, and I always wanted to play with it. And if you are wondering why I always wanted to play with it, it's because of this. It's so nice. You also have some stoves which you can cook your food. They do not consume any coal, they're basically like campfires. And also you have a cooking pot which looks amazing. I have not used it yet because some of the recipes are actually very complicated, but we will. I also removed the tank from Create and replaced it with a tank from Immersive Engineering because I think this one actually holds more and it looks nicer. Although it was slightly expensive, so I had to go mining, so you know. I also did some redecorations on the coke oven area. I did not change the mechanic itself, it's just that I put the pumps in the center and I made them visible because I thought they look nice. And you might notice I added a few mods. Because if you look at the JI, there are not that many decorative blocks that you can use in this mod pack, therefore I decided to add chisel. It does not have that many options, but you know, we have a few. Of course I added gauges and switches. I also added engineer's decor. At first I was very surprised why is it not included in the mod pack, and then I remembered, yes, there are some items that can break the progression. For instance, you have a block breaker, or a solar panel, or even a small tree cutter. So we are not going to use any of those machines, we are just going to use the decorative blocks, and that's it. Cause you know, now we have access to signs, fences, catwalks, and rails. Anyways, let us get back down to business. We have means of generating a little bit of RF, therefore I was thinking maybe we can upgrade our blast furnace to the improved version. Because the preheaters that you see over here are going to require a little bit of RF, and the recipe is also not very cheap. It's also not the worst, we have already made most of them. Oh, you take a lot of stress. I didn't know that. Okay, at this speed you do work. Fine by me. Make me some wires. That was fast. I think we also need a decent amount of iron plates. Getting plates is the most painful thing to watch. Look how slow it is. I will improve it very soon, but for the moment there's not much I can do about it. Oh, I walked over lava. If I break it, will it turn back to lava? Yes. So ladies and gentlemen, here is our two capacitors. Yes, here is the second one. And here are the two induction heaters. And I'm assuming we have everything we need in order to make two preheaters. And the rest of that should be easy peasy, we just need to take you. I missed a piece. Also, I have no idea in which universe you are going to upgrade the blast furnace to the improved version with only 15 pieces of steel plate. But me is Lash, I'm never good at calculations. I have made everything we need in order to make the improved blast furnace, but what I want to check is that how fast can we generate RF? I think you can have a maximum of 6 of these, right? The 7th one will break, no? Okay. Then I'm guessing I have no idea what I'm talking about. So we are increasing the speed once, twice, can we go 3 times? That is already crazy fast, so will it work? No. So I think I have to go with a windmill. No, we don't have to go with a windmill, we can go with a crazy amount of water wheels. And that crazy amount of water wheels is only generating us 22 RF per tick. So there is a block that you can use instead of cogs in order to increase the rotational speed. And it's not even that expensive. Lapis sheet. This is such an easy thing to craft, I don't know why I didn't craft it sooner. Is it a different configuration? No. Almost the same. 2 pieces of redstone, 2 pieces of redstone, rose quartz, and 3 gold nuggets. It's not going to craft it because we have not filled in all the slots, but if we give it a redstone signal, it should. Do I have to do it like this? I am a genius. It was not connected. So now if I give it a redstone signal, it will work. They're having a fight. My integrated circuit and the rotational speed controller. So instead of having all of these cogs like this, which look really bad, I think the only thing that we need is this block over here, and then we need to put a big cog on top. At this very moment, it's not generating any RF. But if we increase the speed to around 90, that will generate 15 RF per tick. I can go a bit higher. 100? Okay. 140? Yes. 160 rounds per minute, 28 RF. Yes, we can go as far as 150 rounds per minute with these number of water wheels. That is fine by me. I don't like windmills. The recipe for LV wire connectors has not been changed, and we can also make the coils. So here are some of the items that we are going to need. We need one LV wire connector, and by one of course I mean 4. We need some relays, I guess, and we also need some coils. Maybe one more bit. I did increase the number of water wheels from 10 to 11, and I also played around with this guy. The highest number that we can go is 176, because if we go to 177, it stops. So for the moment, this is not the worst. Although now that I'm thinking, where do we put you? Yeah, I think for the moment we just put it over here because it's near our power generation. The preheaters go on the side. That one did not connect. Still doesn't connect. Did it connect? Yes. We should be able to connect our alternator to the relay, and obviously the relay to the preheaters. It should have power, right? Yes, that's not how you check it, but you know. This is not going to be incredibly fast because I think each one of these guys need like 40 RF per tick, but it should be an improvement. Yes, it is an improvement. What is this? Yeah, they are not doing great on power. Even though that it is always short on power, but it is faster than the basic version, so I'm not complaining. We all know that this setup is not going to be enough and eventually I have to switch to a windmill, but for the moment, that will have to do because I did find something much more important regarding mining. So far I have been mining manually, and then I saw that computer craft is in the pack and we can just make a computer and a mining turtle. And that will be our quarry. The only thing that we need in order to make a computer is an integrated circuit, which at this very moment is extremely cheap. Oh, and by the way, there is a cheaty recipe of getting an advanced computer, but we first make the basic one, then we upgrade it, so that it will be less cheaty until the pack is updated. We have an advanced computer. Here is a turtle, and if we manage to mix it with a diamond pick, we should have a mining turtle. There you go. And just for testing purposes, let us see how it works. That was not a wise decision. So if I put you down, you should give me a list of programs, and there should be one which is called excavate. Yes. I don't know, excavate an area which is 11 by 11? I want to see what happens if it runs out of fuel. You're gathering things? Well, so far it's only harvesting cobblestone, but you get the idea. I think it's out of fuel. Yes. Okay, in that case, we know how it works. I have not played with turtles since 1.7, but if you read the help for excavate, it will tell you that it will excavate an area until it reaches bedrock. And we saw it that it returned for refueling, so that means that I just have to run excavate and wait for the results. Anyways, this chest that I put over here is going to be the deposit for ores. And we want you to excavate an area of, I don't know, 15? Yes, I know you're out of fuel. Now it's working. These guys should be chunk loaded, and this is just under our base, so it should be fine. I had a few concerns about turtles, so I actually let this guy run for a while to see how it performs. First off, each piece of coal is enough in order to harvest one stack of items. When the inventory becomes full, he will return to the chest. Automatically. It will dump everything inside and will keep the fuel. But unfortunately only one stack, so as long as it's not finding any more coal, fuel is going to be a problem. But generally speaking, for what it does, it's actually quite amazing. I mean, look at the number of ores. It is true that I'm also getting a lot of dirt and cobblestone and junk, but I also need the junk, because otherwise I have to harvest them manually. And besides, this is a temporary setup until we can make a quarry from create, or I don't know, get into mineralis from astral sorcery in order to generate ores. Of course, I'm going to play with them a little bit more and maybe see if we can have an automatic tree farm, or I don't know, an automatic farm. Cause you know, they have like different versions and all of them can be useful, even one with a sword. Before we wrap up today's episode, there is something that I would like to mention. If you guys remember, we have unlocked everything in Eidolon, correct? We have all the symbols. I know that most of the symbols are useless, and you also know that most of the symbols are useless. So why did we get them? Well, one of the main reasons is that, well, if the symbol is there, we might as well unlock it. But the most important one is, we need to use it in order to summon Cubby. Cubby? Do you hear me?
We feel your presence. Or field stabilized.
Anyway guys, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Me and Cubby would like to thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.